Today we're going to look at 25 budget kitchen gadgets. You can let me know which is your favourite in the comments, and if you enjoy the video and want to see more of my content, please do subscribe. Let's start with this odd-looking cube. It's an all-in-one measuring device, which is full of recesses that have been portioned out to give accurate measurements. This side is half a cup, or 120 millilitres, and some faces have multiple compartments. To use it, just select the right side and fill it up with your ingredients so that it's level with the top. That's 1 cupful of flour, and it's super easy to do with fluids too. But next I want to show you these. They're curious looking things. They're actually heat-resistant oven rack protectors. There's a slit all the way down one side, so they can open up. And the idea is we put them along the leading edge of our oven racks. They're nice and easy to install. They just kind of claw their way around the front. I'm putting one on both shelves. And the idea is if you're placing something into the oven, this will stop you from burning yourself if you accidentally touch the rack. And in fact, they work so well, I was even able to just take a hold of them to pull out a shelf without any oven gloves on. Now, this thing's brilliant. It almost looks like a big piece of corn on the cob, but it's actually a drill for a hot dog bun. Just take your finger bun and carefully drill back and forward straight through the middle. Ha! It takes virtually no effort at all to push the tool in because the bun's so soft. And it's made quite a tidy hole. Now just add in your sauces and push in your hot dog. Ha! That's really cool. You're not going to have sauce dribbling all over yourself. And it kind of makes it easier to hold. And if I slice it up, you can see the sausage and sauce has gone all the way through. Now, take a look at this. It's a finger guard protector to use when you're slicing things. It's made from stainless steel and it's got this hoop at the back to slide your finger through. Mine was a little bit big, so I had to adjust it slightly. But there we go, it grips my finger firmly now. And we can use it for slicing up things like vegetables to keep our fingers safely away from the knife blade. You can actually run the knife blade down the side of the shield to help you guide it. I'd say it works well. It is a little bit cumbersome to have on the end of your fingers, but it definitely protects them. But let's see how it works on a whole bunch of chives. You can actually use the shield to pinch them all down and hold them, and then slice them. Pretty cool, huh? Next we're going to take a look at this. Take it out of the packet, and it's this silicone fish with a wide open mouth. What a funny looking thing. Well, here's what it's for. Have you ever seen the life hack where you can separate the yolk from an egg with a plastic bottle by squeezing it and sucking up the yolk? It's a really cool hack, and you can do multiple yolks at once. Well, this is supposed to be the kitchen gadget equivalent, so let's try it out. I tried sucking up the first yolk and, oh dear, straight away it's kind of broken it. There's some up inside, but it definitely didn't work properly for me. Let's try with the second and, oh yeah, I think that's got it. Yeah, it's worked that time. And on the last one, yeah, there it is. You've got to kind of carefully tilt it back so the yolk stays inside while the egg white drips off. And, oh, it broke inside. So really, we only transferred one cleanly. Let's have a look at this. It's a garlic peeler. It's flexible and made from silicone, and to use it, just place a clove inside, like this, then use your hand to roll it back and forth. Then after a few seconds, empty it out, and you should find the clove is completely peeled. This thing's really cool. It's a silicone utensil rest. It's a really cool design, this brightly coloured flexible holder. You just sit it on your work surface, and once you've been stirring something and need somewhere to rest your utensil, you just sit it down on here. It's got a tray behind to catch anything that falls off, and there's room for 4 large utensils. And because it's silicone and flexible, it's super easy to clean, even if the food's been left to dry on a little. And you can get it in a whole variety of colours. And while we're looking at silicone utensils, I think this has got to be one of my other favourites. The flexible silicone spatula. Again, it's super easy to clean and wash, but it's really versatile. Use it for stirring or beating, but it really excels when it comes to cleaning out bowls or pans. Because it's flexible, it just bends to the curvature of this bowl, and it makes cleaning it out a dream. After all, no one wants to waste cake mixture. Now check this out. It's a flat disc of silicone with a moulded on steamship with 3 holes through the funnels. And it's actually a saucepan cover. Just sit it over your pan while it's simmering, and it acts like a lid, allowing steam to escape through the funnels, which should help to stop the pan boiling over. It looks really cool, and it keeps enough steam in the pan to help with the cooking. It comes in different sizes to use with different pans. You can use them to keep your drink warm, or just to cover over a bowl of food to keep it fresh. Next is this thing. It's an eggshell remover for hard-boiled eggs. So the top comes off like this, and also the bottom. And this centre cylinder has got these hard lumps inside. The caps are domed, giving us this concaved indent, and to use it, we need to put our hard-boiled egg inside, then pour in a little water, place the top back on, and give it a shake. You don't need to be too vicious, and after about 5 or 10 seconds, you should see the eggshell starting to break off, revealing the white. I shook it a little bit more, then open it up, and the shell should pretty much just fall off. Pretty cool, huh? But you can also peel a hard-boiled egg by just rolling it along the counter, then pull off the shell. Or instead of using the gadget you just seen, put the egg into a drinking glass, add a little water, cover the top with your hand, and give it a good shake. And again, the shell should pretty much just fall off. But what's really cool is, you can use a larger bottle and do it with multiple eggs at a time. Here I'm trying it with 3. The first eggs come out completely peeled, so's this one, and the shell just pulls off on this one. Now this tool's really cool, it's actually 2 gadgets in one, and it's designed for watermelon. To use it, start by slicing your watermelon into segments, like this. Then we can use this tool to safely cut in between the fruit and the skin. You have to kind of rotate it to match the angle of the skin as you cut through, but it's really easy to use. It's not sharp, so you don't have to worry about cutting yourself, and it's done a great job of removing nearly all of the fruit. Now this piece from the centre is actually for cutting watermelon balls. The first time I tried it, it didn't turn out very well. This one was a little bit better, but after you've done a few, you start to get the hang of it, and they're great for decoration or garnish. Now this is one of my favourite budget kitchen gadgets. It's got a cross blade at the bottom and a plunger which pushes down from the top and is for cutting small tomatoes or grapes into quarters. You just place one inside here and push down the plunger. It doesn't always go to plan, but usually it works really well. It's great for making salad or fruit salad. Maybe you like chopped grapes with your breakfast, or perhaps for young children, so they're not a choke hazard. Next we're going to take a look at these. They're squeezable clips for food bags. These came in 3 nice colours. They feel durable and they're spring-loaded, so you just push them down to open, and they close automatically. They're great for things like bread bags to help keep your loaf fresh. Just twist the top of the bag and slide the clip over. And really useful for all sorts of other foods too. Now this thing's really fun. It's a screw-in squirter gadget, designed for spraying out fresh lemon juice. Just chop the end off your lemon, like this, and screw in the gadget. You can see there's perforated holes to filter the juice into the squirter, and once it's screwed in, just give it a couple of pumps, and we've got amazing fresh lemon juice. It's great for pancakes, salads and fish. Now this is another type of lemon juice gadget. It's a super soft silicone, really flexible, and there's a little spout with a cover here. To use it, take your lemon and chop it in half, then push one of the halves face down into the gadget. It grips around it really nicely. Then take off the cap, and you should be able to squeeze out the juice without worrying about the pips coming out. Oh, I found you had to squeeze it really hard. There we go, I'm getting a bit now. And, oh, you do have to be careful how you hold it, because a load of fresh juice just ran back over my fingers and onto the counter. So you definitely need to keep it face down. With this half, I put it in, then decided to give it a really good squeeze first. But I did it too much and I had lemon juice just building up and pouring out over the top. Oh, and then the cap fell off as well. You do have to be careful with these caps because they are quite easy just to knock off. Personally, I prefer just squeezing a fresh lemon, although this does collect the pips, and you can store it like this in the fridge. Now let's have a look at this. Collapsible funnel. There's not a lot to it really, just give it a pull and there's our funnel. It's got a hard plastic nozzle and rim around the top, which helps to give it a bit of rigidity, and it's nice and easy to store. It's got these steps up the side, which you can use for it to sit on when you're filling something up. So this step fits nicely on the neck of this bottle, and it balances well while I'm filling it up. And if you're doing a jar or something with a wider neck, it sits on the next step up. You can also get smaller versions of these flexible funnels, which are even more compact when they're folded up. And although they're smaller, they're also really useful to act as just a guide when you're filling up a bottle or something. This is really cool. Palm peeler vegetable peeler. Remove it from the packaging, and we've got this interesting teardrop-shaped peeler. It comes with a protective cover over the blade. Here's the blade, and on the other side there's a loop to slide your finger through. On the front there's this cutting scoop to remove any blemishes from your veg. When using it, it feels a bit weird peeling like this. You kind of just run your hand up and down the vegetable. It takes a little getting used to, but it seems to work okay. But then I slid it all the way down my finger, so it really sits in my palm. It does feel quite odd, but I'm going to time myself to peel this carrot to see how long it takes. There we go, it took 11 seconds, not bad, and it's done a decent job of peeling it. The cutter on the front is a little bit awkward, but it seems to do the job. And as a peeler, it certainly does work well. It's nice and easy to wash, but I found the protective cover didn't seem to clip on very well. But this has got to be one of my favourite egg gadgets. There's this cup on one end and a spring-loaded hammer on the other. And to use it, you place it on top of your egg, pull back the hammer, and give it a bash. And if it's gone well, it cuts a perfect round hole in the top of the eggshell. Pretty cool, huh? It makes it nice and easy to separate the egg white from the yolk. And it looks just awesome. But let's give it a go with a hard-boiled egg. And you can see the crack line all the way around the top, but because the egg is cooked inside, it was bonded to the shell and I couldn't just lift it off. Even trying to prise it up with a spoon didn't work. It just broke it. So I had to dig into the egg to lift it off. It has given a clean break, but there are still some fragments around the edge, which could fall down into the egg or stick to your spoon. So for hard or soft boiled eggs, I didn't really find it any benefit. Now, have you ever seen one of these? It's a blueberry colander pod. Slide it out of the cardboard, and there's this transparent lid that removes, and inside the bowl is this little colander. That's quite sweet. The idea is we fill it up with blueberries, and I found a 250-gram packet fills it up perfectly. Then we can easily give them a wash by just holding it under the tap and giving it a little shake. Although I can't really rummage down underneath to clean the ones underneath. The top ones would fall out. Alternatively, I guess you could just wash them while they were still in the tray, and that way you can kind of brush over them a little bit with your fingers too. And this tray's actually got a few holes in it too, so the water runs on through. Then you can tip them into the colander to drain properly. And then the idea is you sit it in the bowl, place the lid on and store them in the fridge, and when you get them out next time, any little drops of water that were left should have collected at the bottom of the bowl. That's quite neat actually. But what do you reckon? Would you use this? Now, have you ever seen one of these? It's got this holder on the bottom and these cutting blades on top, which push down through the holder. It's actually for cutting a hard-boiled egg into segments. Place an egg into the holder like this, then squeeze down the cutter, and hey presto, we've got these nice little segments of egg. They're not all exactly the same size though, because of the angle that the blade goes through. If you want to slice up tomatoes, you could use this. It's a multi-bladed tomato saw. Each one of the 10 blades is perfectly spaced, so you should get nice even slices. As you can see, it is slightly awkward to use. You have to kind of swap your hand from underneath to over the top, so it is a bit tricky. But it does give good results. And with a little bit of practice, I found it gets easier. Next I'm going to try out this Kiwi Gadget. To use it, we cut a kiwi in half, then we take it and push it down into the fruit, like this. Once you've reached the bottom, give it a turn, and check that out, it's actually worked really well. We've removed all the fruit and cut it into these neat little pieces. Now, any ideas what this is? It's actually an orange skin cutting tool. To use it, you wear it on your finger, a bit like a ring, and this little tooth that sticks out should be just deep enough to cut through the peel. It fits the curvature of the fruit well, and it feels like it's working. You can see I've cut a line all the way around, and now I'll do it the other way, and then I'll try peeling it. I like the way it doesn't go through and damage the fruit like it can with a knife, and it is safer than using a sharp blade. And there we go, it peels off nicely. Now this is a clip-on adjustable strainer. It's made out of silicone and it's nice and flexible, with a clip at each end to attach to your saucepan. It just clips over the edge of a pan like this, and the idea is it should hold back your food as you strain. Because it's flexible and bends in the middle, you can use it on smaller diameter saucepans too. I'm first testing it on this pan of pasta, and you can see it's working really well. It held it all back and nothing spilt out. And again with this smaller pan of carrots. That's really cool. And because it's a lot smaller than a regular strainer, you can even store it in a drawer. Now this thing is really cool. It's a banana slicing gadget with 6 blades. To use it, you just peel your banana, poke it through the gadget, and give it a squeeze. It gives us these lovely uniform slices. It's really easy to use, and perfect for something like adding banana to your breakfast cereal. Or you could try this banana slicer. I don't think there's really much explanation needed for this one. I just peeled my banana and placed it down onto a chopping board. Then you can kind of line up the gadget with the curve of your banana, and push it down through. I did find all of the pieces got stuck up inside, so you do have to push them all out. But there we go, slices of banana, and I suppose it's safer than using a knife. But now, if you'd like to see some really cool viral TikTok gadgets, like this amazing crushing flask, or this morphing fidget toy, you can click on the link here to watch my video. Have fun, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.